callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Know Nothing Show with Alan Elkins and Rich Freedman, who have been in the legal profession for over 30 years and now want to share their experience and knowledge with you, the public. Hey, maybe they do know a little something. Join Alan and Rich by calling in at 888-565-1470 or watching them on elkinsandfreedman.com on Monday nights. And now, here's Alan Elkins and Rich Freedman.
Good evening. This is Richard Freedman from the Know Nothing Show. My partner Alan, I believe, will be calling in. He was up in Orlando today handling a deposition, and I think that took him about 4 to 6 hours, so he was pretty busy, but I think he's driving his car right now and is going to be calling in to participate in the show. Meanwhile, before we get to Alan, we have a guest here. Please identify yourself, guest.
My name is David Levy, and I do the show right after yours.
Right.
And I'm the avatar for Alan.
The avatar.
Right. In other words, I'm his image.
Oh, you're
okay. However, I can't do as good a job as he does for his show, but we'll try.
Okay.
All right.
Just briefly tell us exactly what do you do and what do you do on your show?
Well, what I do, my show is called the Caregiver Reality Hour, and I'm a gerontologist. I study aging. I'm a non-practicing attorney, and I also am an elder care mediator. And so I combine all of that to counsel caregivers, who are dealing with loved ones that have dementia or related, Alzheimer's or related dementia. Been doing it now for 25 years. I write on it. I teach. This week's Elder Concert that's being put on by Scott Solkoff, I'll be there facilitating two of the sessions. And what I try and do is I do 3 to 4 support groups a week at various facilities and try and keep caregivers up to date on non-clinical family caregiving. I'm not an MD, and caregiving isn't a disease. So we try and keep it within the realm of practical problem solving and coping skills, because that's what every caregiver needs in order to deal with their loved one. So that's what I do. And on your way home tonight after your show,
yes,
you can listen to mine.
Maybe I'll be a guest on your show.
All right, well, you can call in.
But I just had one question for you.
Are you a caregiver?
No, but I bet eventually all of us will be a caregiver at one point.
Absolutely. No question about it.
Let me ask you, though, when you mentioned something about being a mediator,
right?
Exactly what do you do as a mediator?
Well, there's a lot of family conflict. The dynamics of family conflict are something that I have studied, and I took elder law mediation and kind of bumped it into elder care with the help of some folks that teach elder care mediation, and what it became was a subject unto itself. Last year, the Supreme Court in Florida acknowledged me as, right now I think I'm the only subject matter specialist in elder care mediation, and what it allows me to do is to help facilitate those very awkward family conversations that need to take place, especially when the kids are getting involved and there are tough decisions to make and the siblings are having issues, and it's up to a good mediator to let them know this is not about the fact that they didn't like each other in the sandbox growing up or somebody took somebody's teddy bear, that this is about mom and dad today, and there are decisions that have to get made, and they need to be active participants, and they can't drag all that Samsonite luggage that's been in the closet for the last 50 years to the table. This is not a place to decide how families are going to get along. This is a time when families have to make decisions.
Well, what about there's a situation where there's a guardian that's appointed? So do you get involved where there's a guardian and family members?
Well, I know your partner Alan's on, but I'll just answer the question. Most mediation that comes to me is pro se, and which for the benefit of your audience means that the folks themselves come to get assistance. It's not directed by the court. And so rare is the occasion that we have a guardian. Sometimes we do But normally when you get a guardian looking for mediation, it's because the court has ordered it because of an ongoing conflict with the rest of the family regarding that guardian's behavior if they're not a public guardian.
Wow.
So, but mine really deals with having 4 kids, 2 parents, and a few other family hanger-oners that all want to chime in on some very delicate issues that have to do with the health of the well-being of one of them.
Wow. Sounds like being here in Florida, you must be very busy. I mean, with the elderly population.
Very busy.
Wow.
All right. Nobody's getting younger. Chronic disease is not lessening, and Alzheimer's is rampant. And
Wow.
so as a result of that, anybody in this field is busy. And keeping yourself on the non-clinical side means you're not dealing with HIPAA, you're not dealing with reimbursement from insureds and payors, and it makes it a lot cleaner and easier to work with my clients.
Wow. All right. Very interesting.
All right.
Very interesting. Stay right there. Don't go away.
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm Alan's avatar.
I think Alan is on the phone. Alan, can you hear us?
Yeah, Richard, I've been on the phone, and I appreciate Dave doing this, being my avatar, but I got to tell you, I'm behind the wheel, and I'm going to fall asleep at the wheel.
It was that boring, Alan?
No, not that boring. On a scale of 1 to 10, maybe only about a 7.
seven.
Okay.
You're a good guy, too. I just wanted to see Rich struggle, you know?
Struggle. I appreciate all the love you're giving us here. Thank you.
I had a deposition in Orlando. It started at 9 o'clock today. Didn't get out until 3:30. Never thought it would take that long. So look, I haven't stopped. My bladder's going to burst, but I'm speeding along in Boca. The truth is, every city, you know, I'm on the turnpike cruising along. The minute you hit Palm Beach County, it's the land of the dinosaur. And everybody's
Just what we were talking about.
driving like snails. Yeah, which ties into what Dave was saying here. I mean, you know. Anyway, Dave, I appreciate it, but you know, you're cutting into my time. I happen to have in my briefcase such articles as
Yes.
Restaurant offers free burritos to make up for bloody diarrhea. That's one story I had hoped to get to.
Maybe a little bit later. What's your next story, Alan?
Yeah, the next one is a man that branded his initials on his girlfriend's vaginal area. I thought that was. Hope you have time to get to that there if I hurry.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
I have another one that, and by the way, I'm on Glades and 10th Avenue, so I should be there in about 6-7 minutes.
Okay.
Another article I have: smaller testicles linked with caring fathers, and I know you're a caring father.
With what kind of fathers?
More caring fathers.
With more caring fathers.
Yeah, it was all over the health net this past week.
Oh, really? So you were aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm always the last one to know these
That's
things.
why I'm a lousy father.
On the other hand, Richard's testes are the size of grapefruit, from what I understand from his wife, so he's quite caring.
Okay.
Here. I have another article in my briefcase. Chinese man turns green after eating river snails.
River snails. Where do you get river snails, Alan?
What's that?
Where do you find river snails?
I think that's somewhere in China. Here, actually, let me see if I can read and drive. They say don't text and drive, but they don't say anything about reading.
Okay, so I won't tell anybody. Go ahead.
Some guy had abdominal pains for 2 months before his skin and the whites of his eyes turned green from a parasitic infection. He says, I look like the Incredible Hulk. And it says that his green coloring wasn't because of envy, but he used to eat a plate of snails from a river. And apparently these snails have they cause his skin to turn green. I can't, you know, if I could flip the page, I'd be able to do the rest of the story, Rich. But
Wow.
Now keep up hands on the wheel.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're going to live without that story. You got any other good ones?
yeah, let me see what else is in here. This is like the grab bag in here. You know, this is kind of interesting. There was a brutal obituary in a newspaper where these kids just lit into to their deceased mother. And it says here, let me see here, Mary Johnson Reddick, born in 1935, died last month to the relief and comfort of her children. How do you like that? Whom she spent a lifetime, quote, torturing in every way possible. So so what they did, they wrote an obituary, which was just brutal. So I guess the story is that parents have to be nice to their kids.
Wow.
But they weren't the people that branded that lady's genitals, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll get you. Now, let me see. Now, I'm on Northwest 4th, so...
Oh, you're getting close.
Now in about 5 minutes, so we're just
All right.
moving along.
No problem.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go to a commercial break or you just...
No, we'll keep going. We'll keep going.
You want me to stay on the phone here? Here, I'm hitting 2nd Avenue. So.
I'm sure our listening audience is paying quite close attention to your directions.
We can't put the GPS on the screen.
So people can watch as you come here.
Yeah, let me see what else I have in here.
You watch any football games over the weekend, Alan?
I did. I watched a little of that Alabama Texas A&M game, which was actually a really good game. It kind of lived up to the hype. And while I'm at it, here's another article. Sex is now a hot topic for Chinese women.
Really?
It talks about that. You'd think, there are enough Chinese in the world that they'd know what to do, but I guess sex is taboo. So it says they don't receive any sex education at all. And there's an article here. It says about a married couple believed for 3 years that lying side by side on one bed would result in pregnancy, which is kind of hard to believe. They actually thought lying side by side. Now, let me see here. It says only after a visit to the doctor did both college graduates, realize their failure to conceive was down to not having sex. There are probably a lot of jokes there relating to our wives laying side by side, but...
Well, the Amish used to do that, and they used the bundling board.
Bundling? But what's a bundling board?
It's a board that went right down the middle of the bed.
Yeah.
And it kept mom on one side and dad on the other, or the boyfriend on one side and the girlfriend on the other.
So how do you ever get together?
Knotholes.
Knotholes.
Well, Dave, let me ask you about this. What about, what is it, the Hasidic Jews that...
yeah, with the sheet.
Yeah, with the sheet, with the hole for the penis? What's that all about? Anybody know?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
You know
well, what happened is again, because of the Hasidic or the Orthodox Jews, I guess they only believed in sex for procreation, have children.
Right.
So I guess it wasn't proper to see
Touch.
each other.
Okay.
Without clothes on. Mm-hmm. So they would put a hole in the sheet and they would have sex that way, and hopefully, I guess it worked pretty well. The women would get pregnant and have children.
Right.
So I don't know if they still practice that, but I know that's what they used to do.
All right.
But that was the Orthodox Jews. I don't think the rest of us Jews did that.
No. Having grown up as a Jewish kid, I don't recall ever using the sheet quite that way.
Is it the sheet method?
What was that, Alan?
I can think of a lot of jokes, but they're probably all inappropriate. So.
Yes. Remember now, we're also on the radio besides the internet, so you got to watch what you say.
Yeah, I was going to say something like, well, I know, you probably use the sheet or your socks to finish, but I won't even go there. I know there's a sheet joke there somewhere.
There is.
All right, the good news is I just crossed Palmetto Park Road, so...
I don't know, is that the good news or is that the bad news? I'm not sure which one it is.
Right.
I want to get there early because I have some more articles just stuck in my briefcase just waiting to pop out.
I mean, how can you top what you've already told us? I mean, you have something even better than that?
Yeah. Well,
we got to hear about the branding incident.
The branding incident. And where do you find these stories? You go to a website to find these stories, Alan?
No, I make them up as I drive, Rich. Of course, I go on the internet. But I do while you're busy seeing clients and hopefully making a buck. I'm searching the internet for the most interesting stories out there for our non-listening audience.
But what do you Google to find this? You go to Google and you type in what?
Nothing.
Sometimes you can Google the News of the Weird. That's a real site.
News of the Weird.
Sometimes, believe it or not, you can find a radar online. There are a bunch of interesting sites. For instance, here, let me titillate your audience with one more I'm pulling out of here. Man arrested after threesome with his cousin becomes a twosome. And I think what happened, I think the story, again, I'll get into when I was there, said that the man was having sex, I guess. Well, I hope it wasn't his cousin. But, let me see where this article's from. South Carolina.
Yeah, it could be cousin then.
Yeah.
Could be.
Although usually
Anyway,
that's West Virginia.
That's true.
Annoyed. Yeah, I think the story, I read it. I think that he did what he had to do. He finished before the ladies, and then the ladies kept going at it, and he got very annoyed. I think he was arrested for, I guess, either threatening his cousin or an act of domestic violence against his cousin. So that's that story. Now, let me look. I think I'm literally right up the...
Have you come across Camino Real yet?
Actually, I don't think so. So I guess we got about another 3 minutes. We see, I'm just driving along now. Let me see. I'm following the traffic. At least it's moving. You know what? Here, I'm right here. I'm coming upstairs, boys. I'm here.
Okay. Well, you know what? We'll go to a break.
We'll go to a break, and when we're done with the break, the audience will be able to see your pretty face.
I should be there.
See you in a minute. We'll be right back in 60 seconds or less with our co-host, Alan Elkin. So everybody stay where they are, and we'll see you shortly.
Yep. You're listening to the Levy and Freedman Show.
Life is so overwhelming right now. The emotional and financial challenges are too much. More debt than you can possibly handle? Facing divorce or other family law problems? Injured and don't know where to turn? Where can I get solid, affordable legal guidance? At Elkins and Freedman, an experienced lawyer will explain options and treat you with humanity. They help people throughout Central and South Florida solve these problems. This is a law firm you can trust, and they actually pick up the phone. They have a 30-year track record of positive results, and they make legal costs manageable for people from all walks of life. Make the call, 1-800-992-1277, or visit them on the web at elkinsandfriedman.com. When you visit, you might even meet Tiffany, the office mascot. Elkins and Freedman take the intimidation and worry out of getting the legal help you really need. Call today, 1-800-992-1277, and begin to make sense of your life.
Hey. All right, we're back.
I'm back. I made it.
Roy.
Oh, boy, this was some day. Do I have time to go to the bathroom? I guess not. We'll just struggle
No, you just
through
have
it.
to cross your legs and hold on for a few minutes.
You know, here's another article that I thought was interesting. We can get to those, but I love the title of this one. Florida is being overrun by herpes-infected monkeys. I bet you didn't know that.
I
True
was
story.
suspecting that was the case.
Now, you asked me, where did I get such a fascinating story? It's from Gawker. Oh, and here, my son just texted, hey, the video is not streaming on Elkins and Freedman. You know anything about that, Freddie? Is it working?
He's
You're
watching
it? Well, Danny, if you're out there in TV land listening, appearance there. So, Gawker, here it is. A colony of herpes-infected rhesus monkeys flinging their feces in viral loads through Florida now post. Don't ask me what that means, viral loads. I don't
through
need the
Florida.
visual.
Where are there monkeys
Through
running around Florida?
Now pose an official public health threat to the Sunshine State. Like a Jurassic Park with herpes sequel, 3 pairs of monkeys were first brought to Silver River State Park in the 1930s when the population quickly multiplied into the thousands. Who knew that we have monkeys in
There's a
upstate?
state park where they have thousands of monkeys running around?
Silver River State Park. It says at times the monkeys were trapped on an island, content to contract and spread their monkey herpes in isolation. Now the monkeys have taught themselves to swim. And
Swimming monkeys. I've never seen a monkey swim.
And authorities have spotted them hundreds of miles away near Jacksonville. You know, this is kind of like that movie with the apes. You know,
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Anyway, threatening the health of nearby non-monkey herpes-infected human communities. Says monkeys usually experience no symptoms from the viral strain herpes B, which can cause increased sensitivity to stimulation, muscle control issues, double vision, et cetera, et cetera. So there you go. You won't hear it anywhere else to our audience.
But we have an exclusive on that.
That is an exclusive. We're being overrun by herpes-infected monkeys. Now,
What?
our special avatar guest, Dave, wanted to hear more about the fascinating moron that was arrested for branding his initials on his girlfriend's vaginal area.
What did he use, like an iron?
Well, I don't know. Let's read. You know, and here I realize this is also from Gawker. So anybody that's out there like these interesting stories, that's the site. It says, let me see. Police in Arizona have arrested a man who allegedly branded his initials on his girlfriend's vaginal area and then informed her he did so because, quote, her vagina was his. All right. Well,
Would he buy it?
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably. But, geez, you know, listen, we can make light of this, and I guess we will make light of it because it
What
is
else is there to
rather
do?
humor. But here it is. It says that this idiot, his name is Christopher Lynn Jackson. Maybe he's being branded with a middle name Lynn that caused him to act this way. Bragged about having done the same to previous girlfriends. The incident, which took place in May, only came to light a week after Jackson's now ex-girlfriend summoned up the courage to come forward. The unidentified woman told authorities that Jackson took her to a baseball game and then asked her to go dancing with him. So,
Okay.
all right. When the victim refused, she said she was too tired. Jackson offered her energy pills to perk her up. Energy pills.
But I bet they weren't energy pills, right?
No, it says the pills caused quite the opposite effect, and the woman soon found herself passing out. And then, needless to say, when she awoke, she felt severe pain and saw Jackson with branding equipment and a butane torch.
Butane torch.
A butane torch.
What, did he carry it with him in the back of his car?
Says she looked down to find the letter C and J branded into her private parts. I hope they throw the book at this guy. You know what? Put him in. I hope the jail population brands is behind. That's what he deserves. You know.
Wow, that's
Brands it with a 6-inch poker. Although guys in prison, you know, could be
Yeah.
bigger than a 6-inch poker. And actually, it's poke him, I guess, not poke her. A search warrant helped confirm the woman's claims. A search warrant? Wait, they have to get a search warrant? Ma'am, could you pull down your pants? We have
I
to
guess
search
so.
you. They had a search warrant, confirmed the woman's claims, and Jackson was subsequently arrested.
But why do they need a search warrant? You think she would voluntarily show them?
Exactly. He was charged with a felony aggravated assault. And neighbors say, let me see, that's pretty crazy and kind of scary. It says, I've lived next to him for 12 years, and he seemed like a normal, calm guy.
Everybody that does crazy things, everyone says that they're normal. Like that guy today in Washington.
Yeah, I didn't.
They've already,
what's
they've already
the
talked to
story
some of
with
their
him?
neighbors.
Well, did
He
they
was
find
such
a motive?
What?
They find
no,
a
they're still
motive?
looking into it.
No motive.
But with all the cameras that are there, they probably know everything he did from the first moment he arrived on the property to the time he. I
Yeah,
guess he
they-
killed himself. I guess.
Well, I heard driving here that they didn't know if self-inflicted or if he was shot, whether or not there were accomplices. They know if
But
there
they'll
were any
know from the
accomplices.
video cameras.
Yeah, I
So when they
guess
watch
so.
all those cameras, because there must be hundreds of cameras in that building.
All right, so more on the branded initials. I hope you get your behind branded. All right, we already talked briefly about the free burritos. This article just made me laugh. I mean, it says here, following a bloody diarrhea attack that left 74 patrons wondering why, let's see, the restaurant, it's in Arizona, is begging people to come back and offering them free burritos if they do. I don't know.
I'm sure there's going to be a line
No,
for people to come back to that
Now,
restaurant.
let me ask you. So, if you got bloody diarrhea from eating bad burritos, would you go back to the restaurant for free food?
I don't
I'm
think
asking
so.
a man that loves free food. No, you wouldn't do
No,
it.
I mean, I have my limits. No.
No. Hey, you know, in a local note, we was talking about what we did this weekend,
Yeah.
and I found myself eating yogurt. And I
Oh, yeah,
finished
you
the
did all the-
yogurt. My
You mean
stomach.
frozen yogurt or regular
no,
yogurt?
the regular yogurt.
The Greek
I don't
yogurt?
Know, you pronounce it Chobani? I think it's Chobani yogurt. I think that's the brand that I had. So what happened, I ate it, and then I'm reading my phone looking for articles, and I saw there was a recall that Chobani yogurt went ahead and had some mold which yogurt has, but this had the bad kind of mold that upsets your stomach. Sure enough, my stomach was upset about an hour later. Actually, it was upset before I read the article. I guess we're almost out of time, Richard. Gee, where did time go?
So hold it.
No,
maybe you should go get a burrito. Maybe you'll feel better.
Yeah. No, so then I had to make the decision. Okay, they give the expiration numbers, and it was affecting Florida yogurt. So I had that decision to make. Do I go through the garbage to find the lid to see if my yogurt was the yogurt that was recalled, or did I just have diarrhea? I don't know. So I figured, all right, I'm going to stick my hand into the garbage.
Right.
Okay, it's all nasty. My wife said, why don't you put a glove on? I said, yeah, I didn't
Makes
need a
sense.
glove. Couldn't find it. I just gave up, took out the garbage. Thankfully, my stomach is okay. So
that was yesterday.
That was yesterday. All right, we talked about smaller testicles and caring fathers. We talked about the river snails. We touched on the obituary. We talked about how Chinese women apparently don't know about sex, but there are billions of them in the world. I got 2 minutes.
Is that 2 minutes, or is he giving you a U?
I don't know. He's giving me the Texas hang 'em Aggie sign. Oh, no, that's a 2-minute sign.
That's a V for victory, I think
in Hawaii that also means something. I don't remember what, but it does. I had an article about idiots celebrating 9/11 with a Muslim versus American costume party. I was going to put that under
Where was that?
Stupid people. I don't know where it was. Shameless. But some idiots had a party. Why? Who knows? And then again, I had the man arrested after the threesome with the cousin. Became a twosome. He felt left out and got very annoyed. So, Richard.
Was that from Arizona, too, or another state?
Good question, Richard. No, that was South Carolina.
That's right, South Carolina.
So I guess we've just about come to a conclusion.
But let's talk about this. We always talk about movies. You see any good movies this weekend?
Did not see a movie.
I saw a good movie.
Closed
Circuit.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
No.
Okay. Very interesting movie. It's kind of pertains to like almost what happened today in Washington, where they're watching everybody on cameras.
Yeah.
And I don't want to ruin the movie, but it's worth seeing.
Worth seeing. Good.
Definitely
and
worth
I'll give
seeing.
a shout out to Breaking Bad. That is some show. This Sunday night episode, there are 2 only episodes left. If you haven't been a fan or watched it, try to get caught up. It is riveting. Probably the best show on television.
How are you going to get caught up if there's only 2 shows left?
Well, I'm saying to new shows. I don't know if prior seasons are out on DVD. You're right. I guess a little late. I'll tell you. I'll spoil it for you. But it's a great show. I urge everybody to watch.
Very good.
And
so,
I think that's it. Are we done,
is that
Freddie?
it?
We make it?
Oh,
we
my
did
God.
It?
We
Another
did it.
episode.
Another show.
Another show. How do we do it?
I don't know. That's what everyone asks me.
How
do you do it, Rich?
Yeah, and I don't know.
So now you know how we do it.
All right, here we go.
All right. So
I know the music's out there somewhere.
So good night until next week.
All right, there we go. Woo! Thank you.
You have been listening to the Elkins and Freedman Know Nothing Show, where maybe you learned a little something today. To reach their offices, call 954-772-6014 or toll free 1-800-992-1277. Tune in again next time for more Elkins and Freedman.